Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel, and we're looking at the Roosevelt dime, or the US 10-cent coin. This one's from 1983. We have the Denver Mint on the left, the Philadelphia Mint on the right, and this coin, of course, came out starting in 1946. 1946. January 19th, 1946, they first made them. They released them on January 30th, 1946, which would have been President Roosevelt's birthday. On that day, he would have been 64, but of course he died the year before, right at the end of World War II. So it's Franklin Delano Roosevelt, says liberty in front of him, and God we trust under his chin. Down here, underneath his neck, we see there is two little letters there. That is a J and an S for John Sinnock, Sinnock, who was the engraver of this coin. Kind of similar to what happened to President Kennedy in the sense that the president died and they got a coin out within a year. With President Kennedy, of course, that was 1963. He died. They came out with this Kennedy half in 1964. And then another similarity is that they did change it at some point from a silver coin to a copper nickel clad copper, and we tip it up on its edge and you can see that. You can see the copper inside. You can see the shiny, it's silver colored, but it's the copper nickel mix on the outside. And then we get to the back and you see there it says United States of America, one dime at the bottom. This is kind of messy in here and often it's hard to read, but it says E pluribus unum, kind of the together is one United States motto. We see there's a torch in the center, acorn right here because it's from an oak tree, and on this side we see a couple olives from the olive branch. So the olive branch for peace, the oak tree for strength. There is one other coin from the year 1983, and that is, of course, the proof set version. One of the things that we don't have from 1983 is the uncirculating sets. In 1982 and 1983, they did not put out any uncirculated sets, so you will not see one. So in 1946, these dimes came out in silver. Before then, look at this dime. And this is, of course, the winged. These are flying wings. It says Liberty at the top, says In God We Trust under chin, 1945 here. And this, again, is initials, the AW. Here, if we tip this one up, we can tell it is silver, just silver all the way through. And on the back of that dime, we would find this United States of America, one dime here, two stars here, and there, way deep in there, I don't know if you can see it, is the pluribus unum. These dimes are worth, these silver dimes, worth probably $3 each. They got about $2 in silver, so that's what kind of ramps them up a little bit, but they're not either highly collectible or highly expensive. Some of these Roosevelt 1983 dimes are incredibly expensive, though. The most expensive of them is probably dimes that came out in 1983 that didn't have the S on them. Are you ever going to find one in your change? No. Are you ever going to find one anywhere? Probably not, unless you find it in one of these containers, because that's how they came out. They didn't just put them out in any kind of general circulation. So you see how this is actually polished way different than this coin. Polish it down here, and then they do a rough polish here, almost like a sandpaperish, which makes it pop out. It says Liberty, in God we trust. You can really see the JS. You hold these upright, you can see yourself in them. That's a much kinder, gentler version of Roosevelt than the old beat-up dimes. And on the back, you can see almost everything. Look at the lines here. Look at the full bands. You can really tell that's an acorn there. Not so different for the olive, but you can really also read the E pluribus unum. And you can not only read it, but you can see between the E and the pluribus and the us in the U, there is a dot there. Now, you notice that this isn't as fine as some of the more modern ones. These actually kind of blend together a little bit. The whole thing kind of blends together. We don't have great spacing here, but this dime probably worth $4 to $5. There is no silver version of this dime. They didn't come out with the silver proof sets until 1992, so you won't find this in the silver version. This is the most expensive, rarest version, but they made 3.279 million of these. How many did they make of the Phillies? Well, the Philly dimes, they made, as I dropped that, 647 million. So they made a ton of these, 647 million of these. The Denver dimes, they made 733 million, almost 1.4 billion between the two of them. Not rare unless you get up to MS 67 or 68, and it's not till MS 67 you're going to get over $2,000, if that. MS 65, you could probably still get some really good ones for well under 100. And what you're looking for, if you really want the most desirable and most expensive ones, is to find one of the mint set no S dimes from 1983, and that will be a very rare. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comment section.